In a world that constantly demands your attention, where noise, information, and distractions are never far away, silence can feel like a rare and precious treasure. But what if I told you that within this silence lies something powerful, something that could transform the way you think, the way you act, and the way you connect with yourself and others? Silence is not simply the absence of sound. It is a presence, a force that can deepen your understanding, enhance your creativity, and even heal your mind. We've all experienced those moments when words fall short. When you face a difficult situation or a personal challenge, sometimes silence can speak volumes more than any well-meaning words. It's in these quiet moments that we often find the clarity we need, the strength we seek, and the insights we overlook in the hustle and bustle of life. But how often do you pause to really listen to the silence? How often do you allow yourself the space to hear the quiet voices of your inner thoughts, your intuition, or even the wisdom of the world around you? In this video, we'll explore the priceless benefits of being silent. We'll discover how silence can open doors to creativity, boost your mental well-being, and help you communicate more effectively. It's more than just a tool. It's a practice that, when embraced, can shift the way you experience life. Imagine the power that comes from being still and present, not to escape the world, but to fully engage with it, to listen more deeply, and to reflect more meaningfully. This is what silence offers, a chance to be more connected, more aware, and ultimately more at peace. So, let's begin this journey together. Let's uncover how embracing silence can help you unlock a deeper, more intentional way of living. Because in the quiet, we often find our truest selves. Part 1. Silence as a gateway to clarity and awareness. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the constant noise around you? It could be the chatter of daily life, the endless stream of information, or the pressure to keep up with everything happening around you. It's easy to lose yourself in the noise, but what if I told you that in the quiet, there's a place where your true clarity lies? Silence is not the absence of sound. It's the space where you can hear the most important voices, the ones that come from within you. In today's world, you might be so used to the external noise that you've forgotten how to listen to your own inner voice. That quiet whisper that can guide you, that inner wisdom that can lead you to the answers you seek. In the silence, you give yourself the gift of listening to the thoughts you've been drowning out, to the feelings you've been avoiding, and even to the world around you. You open the door to deeper awareness and understanding, both of yourself and the world in which you live. Silence helps you step away from the noise and find your center. Think about those moments when everything is still, the world slows down, and for a brief second, you can breathe. You know that feeling. That's your mind beginning to clear. That's your awareness expanding. In those moments, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly. And what you'll often find is that your mind is not as cluttered as it seems. It's simply been clouded by the constant chatter you've been feeding it. When you make time for silence, you start to notice things you might have missed. The quiet messages from your body that have been ignored, the feelings you've buried deep, and the dreams you've let slip away. These are the things that hold the key to your clarity. But to hear them, you must give yourself permission to be quiet. The quieter you become, the more you learn. It's almost paradoxical, isn't it? We tend to think that the more we talk or think, the more we'll understand. But in reality, the more we allow silence into our lives, the more we can truly learn. It's through stillness that you connect with a deeper sense of wisdom, whether that's your own intuition, your true desires, or the deeper truths of life that are hidden behind the noise. Think about the moments when you've had an important insight. More often than not, it came during a quiet moment, perhaps while you were walking alone, sitting in reflection, or simply taking a break from your usual routine. These are the moments when your mind is free from distractions, when you're open to seeing things differently. In silence, You allow the space for those insights to emerge. Silence doesn't just help you hear your thoughts, it helps you hear the world more clearly. In the stillness, you become more attuned to your surroundings. You start to notice things you've never seen before, the subtleties in the people you interact with, the beauty of nature that you've been rushing past, the emotions of others that were once hard to read. Your senses become heightened, and with that heightened awareness, you become more connected to the present moment. This awareness is powerful. It allows you to make better decisions, understand situations more deeply, and respond thoughtfully to what's going on around you. In silence, you don't just hear what is said, you begin to understand what is left unsaid. This space of silence also opens you up to self-awareness. You may have noticed how easy it is to get caught up in your daily thoughts and routines, to lose track of your own needs and feelings. But when you allow silence into your life, you give yourself the chance to reflect on who you truly are. Not who you think you should be, but who you really are beneath the layers of expectations, worries, and distractions. In these moments of reflection, you might discover truths about yourself that were always there, waiting to be heard. Maybe it's a new insight into your passions, or perhaps a deeper understanding of what truly matters to you. In the quiet, you become more attuned to your own inner compass, and with that awareness, you begin to navigate your life with more intention, more clarity, and more confidence. Silence is the foundation of true understanding. When you let go of the need to fill every moment with noise and activity, you create space for your mind to reset and recharge. You clear away the clutter, allowing the important thoughts, feelings, and insights to come forward. By embracing silence, you open yourself up to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. The next time you feel overwhelmed or uncertain, remember, the answers are already within you. The clarity you seek is waiting in the stillness. You just have to be quiet enough to hear it. This is your invitation to embrace the power of silence. Give yourself the space to listen, reflect, and truly connect with the wisdom inside you. In silence, you will find the clarity and awareness that lead to the answers you've been seeking. Part 2. Unlocking creativity through solitude. Have you ever sat in a quiet room with nothing but your thoughts and realized how much clarity and creativity suddenly flood your mind? It's in those moments of solitude, when the noise of the world fades away, that your most profound ideas and insights often come to life. Creativity doesn't thrive in chaos. It flourishes in moments of peace and solitude. You might be thinking that creativity comes from constantly being busy, constantly doing something. But the truth is, the best ideas often arrive when you're simply still, letting your mind wander without distraction. Solitude gives you the space to reconnect with your inner thoughts, to explore ideas that were previously buried beneath the noise of daily life. In solitude, your mind is free to roam. There's no pressure, no deadlines, no expectations. You have the space to think without constraints. It's in these quiet moments that you can explore your ideas without the fear of judgment or interruption. It's when you're by yourself that you can allow your creativity to flow naturally, without the constraints of others' opinions or the constant hum of the world. When was the last time you gave yourself the space to just be alone with your thoughts? To think, to reflect, to create without rushing to the next task. Creativity, at its core, is about letting go of boundaries and letting your mind wander into uncharted territory. Solitude allows you to break free from the noise, to stop racing and start thinking. Think about some of the greatest minds in history: Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla. These individuals often found their most creative breakthroughs not in crowded rooms filled with ideas, but in moments of solitude. Einstein, for example, spoke about how his best ideas came when he allowed himself to sit in silence, swimming in silence, as he called it. He didn't force his mind to work. He simply allowed it to find its own flow. You too have the potential to tap into that same creative energy when you give yourself the time and space to be alone with your thoughts. It's when you stop forcing ideas to come and allow yourself to simply be present that the true creative spark ignites. Solitude clears the clutter of the mind. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with information. Social media, news, conversations, it's all a lot to process. But when you step away from the noise, when you embrace solitude, your mind can finally clear. And in that space of quiet, your most innovative ideas can emerge. Without the distractions, your mind can connect dots that were previously hidden. You may find that solutions to problems you've been struggling with come to you effortlessly, or that ideas you never considered before suddenly make sense. Solitude allows your mind to breathe. It helps you step back, gain perspective, and come up with fresh creative solutions that you might have overlooked in the chaos of daily life. When you're alone, you're also free to explore your true self. Creativity isn't just about coming up with ideas. It's about understanding your own voice and your place in the world. In solitude, you're not just creating new things. You're discovering who you truly are and what you truly value. In silence, there's a unique opportunity to explore the deepest parts of your mind. You can ask yourself important questions about your life, your goals, and your purpose. It's when you step away from the noise and distractions that you have the chance to truly listen to yourself, to understand what you want, and to create from a place of authenticity. Solitude doesn't have to be lonely. It's a space for connection with yourself. When you choose to spend time in solitude, you're not cutting yourself off from the world. You're reconnecting with your own inner world. And from that place of connection, your creativity can thrive. The next time you feel overwhelmed or stuck, try stepping into solitude for a moment. Embrace the stillness. Let go of the external noise and let your mind wander freely. Allow yourself to be present with your thoughts. It's in this space of quiet that your most powerful creative ideas will emerge. Remember, creativity thrives in solitude because it gives you the freedom to explore, the space to think, and the quiet to listen to the wisdom within you. Part 3. Silence as a tool for effective communication. Have you ever noticed how sometimes the most powerful moments in a conversation are those when no words are spoken at all? The pauses, the silences, the moments where you simply let the weight of what's being discussed settle in. It's in these moments that true communication can take place, deeper than words, beyond explanations, and more profound than any sentence. Silence is not an absence. It's a tool, a vehicle for powerful communication that goes beyond what's said. In a world filled with noise, the ability to embrace silence in conversations can give you an edge, one that helps you communicate with greater impact and influence. You might be surprised to realize that silence can often speak louder than words. Think about the power of a well-timed pause. Have you ever been in a discussion where someone simply stopped talking, leaving the room in quiet anticipation? That silence creates space. It makes people listen more closely, reflect, and think deeper. A pause in conversation is not awkward. It's an opportunity. It forces the other person to fill the space, often leading them to reveal more than they intended. When you pause before responding, you give yourself time to choose your words carefully. You aren't rushing into a reaction or adding noise to the conversation. Instead, you're creating a moment of reflection. In these quiet moments, you may find the perfect response that resonates more profoundly than if you had simply filled the air with chatter. Silence allows you to truly listen. In communication, listening is just as important as speaking. When you're silent, you're not just waiting for your turn to speak. You're absorbing every word, every emotion, and every nuance of what's being said. You're listening not only to the words, but also to the silence in between. That space between the words often tells you more than the words themselves. By embracing silence, you allow yourself the opportunity to truly understand what the other person is communicating beyond the surface level. Listening deeply gives you the power to connect on a deeper level, to pick up on subtle cues, and to respond with empathy and insight. You begin to understand not just the message, but the underlying feelings, motivations, and perspectives that the words are trying to convey. Silence builds respect and trust. When you give someone the gift of silence, you show them that you value their words and their perspective. You're telling them that they have your full attention, that you're not rushing to respond or interrupting them. This simple act of being present, of being silent and patient, creates an atmosphere of trust. In a world where people often feel rushed or unheard, silence can be a powerful way to demonstrate respect. It communicates that what the other person has to say matters to you, and that you are willing to take the time to truly understand their point of view. This creates an environment where open and honest communication can flourish. In difficult conversations, silence can be a form of strength. There are moments in life when words simply don't suffice, when the situation calls for a response that cannot be captured in language. In those times, silence becomes a powerful tool for communication. For example, in times of grief or conflict, silence can be a way to honor the moment and give space for emotions to settle. Instead of trying to fill the air with words that may not help, you allow the silence to speak for you. It's in these quiet moments that true respect, empathy, and understanding are conveyed. Sometimes, silence is the most powerful form of support. Silence can also be a tool for influence. When used strategically, silence can give you an upper hand in negotiations or discussions. The discomfort of silence can make others feel the need to fill the gap, often leading them to reveal more than they intended or to make concessions they wouldn't have otherwise. In high-stakes situations, silence can make people feel uneasy. This discomfort can prompt them to speak up or adjust their position. By remaining silent, you can gain more control over the conversation, using the power of anticipation to your advantage. Silence, when used intentionally, becomes a tool not just for communication, but for influence. The power of silence in communication is not about withholding your voice, but using it wisely. It's about choosing when to speak and when to listen, when to fill the space with words and when to leave it empty. When you learn to embrace silence, you gain a deeper understanding of both yourself and the world around you. The next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember that silence is not the absence of communication. It is the foundation of meaningful connection. By embracing silence, you become a more effective communicator, not through the words you speak, but through the space you create to truly hear, understand, and connect. Let silence be your ally in building stronger, more authentic relationships, both with others and with yourself. Part 4. Silence as a powerful response to tragedy and conflict. In the midst of hardship, loss, or conflict, we often feel compelled to speak, to offer words of comfort, or to defend our position. We search for the right thing to say, believing that our words will somehow ease the pain or resolve the tension. But what if, in those moments, silence could be more powerful than anything we say? Silence can be an incredibly profound response to tragedy and conflict. When faced with overwhelming emotions, it's easy to believe that words can fix everything. However, sometimes, no amount of words will ever truly capture the depth of what we are experiencing or trying to convey. In those moments, silence doesn't signify weakness or avoidance. It's a form of acknowledgement, a way of saying, I see this pain. I feel it with you. In times of grief, silence becomes an offering of respect. Think about moments of loss, when someone you love has passed, or when you're faced with a situation that feels too much to bear. Words often fall short. We've all experienced those moments where we simply don't know what to say to make it better. That's when silence speaks louder than anything else. It's a way to share in the grief without pretending to have the answers. By holding space in silence, you allow the other person, yourself included, to process the emotions without being rushed or pressured to move on too quickly. When you embrace silence in these moments, you're honoring the depth of the experience. You are giving yourself and others permission to feel, to grieve, and to heal without the need for constant chatter or explanations. The power of silence lies in its ability to provide a sanctuary for the emotions that can't always be put into words. Silence creates space for empathy and connection. During conflict or difficult conversations, it's easy to fall into the trap of defending yourself, explaining your point of view, or trying to fix the situation. But in these moments, silence can allow you to listen more deeply, not just to the words being spoken, but to the emotions behind those words. When you're able to pause and take a moment of silence, you create space for understanding. It's in this silence that you can step outside of your own emotions and truly empathize with the other person. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, you respond from a place of calmness and clarity. In silence, you're able to gather your thoughts and listen more attentively, allowing you to see things from a new perspective. By choosing silence in the midst of conflict, you create an opportunity for deeper connection. You stop the cycle of defensiveness and allow for a more meaningful dialogue to unfold. It's in the stillness that you may find the words that matter most, or realize that no words are needed at all. Silence as a response also gives you the power to resist. In a world that often feels loud and combative, silence can be a form of resistance. especially when confronted with injustice, anger, or violence. Think about those moments when words seem to fuel the fire, when shouting and arguing only escalate the situation. In these times, silence becomes an act of strength. It says, "I will not engage in this noise." Gauge. I will not contribute to the chaos. Instead of meeting anger with anger, you respond with calm, with stillness, and with a sense of inner peace that can't be shaken by the external turmoil. By not reacting, you regain control. You don't allow the situation to dictate your emotions, and instead, you create a space where things can settle. In this silence, you hold the power to diffuse the situation, to stand firm in your beliefs, and to rise above the noise. Silence, in many ways, teaches us the art of letting go. In times of conflict, we often feel the urge to control the situation, to make the other person understand our side, to win the argument. But sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to let go of the need to control. Silence allows you to surrender the need to be right or to have the last word. It's in this release that you find peace and clarity. By choosing silence, you are choosing to stop fighting, to stop resisting, and to simply allow the situation to unfold. This doesn't mean that you're giving up. It means you're giving yourself the space to choose your response without being driven by impulsive emotions or the need to be understood. It's in this release that you find freedom. Ultimately, silence is not about avoiding or escaping the emotions that arise in times of tragedy and conflict. It's about embracing them with presence and grace. It's about showing up without the need for words, offering respect, empathy, and strength through your actions. In silence, you give yourself the opportunity to respond from a place of true understanding and inner peace. You become more than a participant in the noise of the world. You become a calm presence, grounded in your own truth. And from that place, your words, when they come, will be all the more powerful. So, the next time you face a difficult moment or a challenging conversation, remember, silence is not a retreat. It's a response. It's a powerful tool that allows you to reflect, connect, and ultimately find the clarity and peace you seek. In silence, you find your true strength. Part 5. Silence and its impact on well-being. In the whirlwind of modern life, noise surrounds you constantly. Whether it's the hum of technology, the chatter of conversations, or the constant stream of demands on your time, it's easy to get lost in all the noise. But what if I told you that embracing silence could be the key to unlocking deeper peace, restoring balance, and ultimately enhancing your well-being? Silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a powerful tool for calming your mind, recharging your body, and reconnecting with your inner self. You may not realize it, but your well-being, mentally, emotionally, and even physically, depends on moments of quiet. In fact, silence holds the power to heal, reset, and restore you in ways that words or distractions cannot. In silence, you find rest. Life doesn't stop for anyone, and sometimes you can feel as if you're running on a never-ending treadmill, trying to keep up with work, family, and responsibilities. The noise of life can be draining. Your mind races from one task to the next, and the constant input of information leaves little room for true relaxation. But when you embrace silence, something shifts. In silence, your mind gets the chance to rest. No more distractions. No more constant thinking. You can finally let go of all the noise and allow your mind to just be. This stillness brings a sense of relief, a break from the constant pressure. It's in these moments of quiet that you begin to heal and rejuvenate. When you take time for silence, you give yourself the permission to just exist without doing, without striving. Silence fosters mental clarity. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the constant flow of thoughts in your mind? It can feel like your brain is running on a loop, repeating the same worries, fears, and to-do lists over and over. This mental clutter can cloud your judgment and make it difficult to focus on what truly matters. In silence, your mind finds space to breathe. When you stop the constant flow of external noise and distractions, you allow your thoughts to settle. The clutter fades, and what remains is clarity. You begin to see your thoughts more clearly, and with that clarity comes the ability to make better decisions, solve problems more effectively, and regain your sense of direction. Taking time for silence is like giving your mind a fresh start, a chance to hit the reset button and free yourself from the mental fog. It's in these quiet moments that the answers you seek can emerge, gently but powerfully. Silence brings emotional healing. Life isn't always easy. You face challenges, setbacks, and moments of heartbreak. The world tells you to keep going, to push through. But sometimes what you really need is to pause, to step back, to allow yourself the space to feel. Silence creates the room you need to process your emotions. When you're caught up in the noise of life, it's easy to suppress your feelings, to ignore the pain or discomfort, and to push forward without truly acknowledging what's going on inside. But in silence, you allow your emotions to come to the surface. You give yourself the chance to truly feel, to heal, and to release what's weighing you down. By embracing silence, you give yourself permission to face your emotions head-on. You stop running from your feelings, and instead you sit with them, allowing them to be processed and understood. In that space, emotional healing takes place. Silence improves your physical health. Have you ever noticed how your body responds to constant noise and overstimulation? Your heart rate increases, your breath becomes shallow, and stress hormones surge through your system. This constant state of fight or flight takes a toll on your body, leading to fatigue, anxiety, and even physical illness. But when you allow yourself time and silence, your body has the chance to relax. Silence helps to lower your stress levels, reduce anxiety, and promote better sleep. Studies have shown that just a few minutes of silence can lower blood pressure and reduce the production of cortisol, the stress hormone. It's as if your body is saying, "Thank you for giving me a moment to rest." In those moments of quiet, your body rebalances itself. You begin to feel more at ease, more centered, and more alive. Silence doesn't just heal your mind, it heals your body too. Silence cultivates a deeper connection with yourself. In the noise of life, it's easy to forget who you really are. You get caught up in the roles you play, the expectations of others, and the constant need to do. But silence offers you a chance to reconnect with your true self. When you sit in silence, you give yourself the opportunity to reflect on your values, your desires, and your purpose. It's in these quiet moments that you discover what really matters to you. You reconnect with your passions, your dreams, and your sense of purpose. You realize that beneath all the noise, you have a clear, authentic voice that knows the way. Silence isn't just a tool for rest or clarity. It's a path to self-discovery. When you embrace silence, you reconnect with who you truly are, and that connection brings a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. In conclusion, silence is a powerful ally for your well-being. It's not just about escaping the noise of the world. It's about creating the space to heal, to reflect, and to reconnect with your true self. By making room for silence in your life, you open the door to peace, clarity, and emotional healing. Take a moment today or every day to embrace silence. Allow it to restore your mind, body, and soul. In silence, you'll find the peace and well-being that you've been seeking all along. Conclusion. As we close this journey into the power of silence, I want you to remember one thing. Silence is not an absence, but a presence. It's a presence that holds the potential to transform your life, bringing you clarity, peace, creativity, and emotional healing. In a world so full of noise and distraction, embracing silence is one of the most powerful ways you can reconnect with your true self, your purpose, and the world around you. By incorporating more moments of quiet into your daily life, you're not only improving your mental and emotional well-being, but you're also stepping into a place of inner strength and wisdom. The power of silence isn't something reserved for a select few. It's available to you right here, right now. If you found value in this exploration of silence and want to dive deeper into Stoic principles that can help you live a more intentional, peaceful, and resilient life, I encourage you to subscribe to the Stoic philosophy. This channel is dedicated to bringing you timeless wisdom, personal growth strategies, and the tools to cultivate a life filled with purpose and inner peace. Join our community by subscribing, and let's continue this journey of self-discovery and mastery together. Because in silence, we often find the most profound answers